Moonshot AI launched Kimi K3 last month, and the internet lost its mind. 200,000 token context window, deep reasoning mode, where you can see the AI think in real time. API pricing 60% cheaper than GPT-5 Turbo. Voice mode that actually sounds human. Every tech channel ran the same benchmark charts and called it the ChatGPT killer. I used it for 30 days as my only AI assistant, writing code, researching scripts, planning trips, drafting emails, even trying to get it to write fiction. And I found 5 problems that nobody is talking about. Problems that almost made me quit on day 3. Problems that matter if you are thinking about paying $19 a month for this. Problem 1. The knowledge cutoff is a trap. Kimi K3's base training data stops at October 2025. It has a web browsing tool, but here is what they do not tell you. When that browsing tool fails on paywalled sites, which happens about 10% of the time, the model does not know what it does not know. It does not say, "I am uncertain." It does not flag the gap. It fabricates. I asked about EU AI Act amendments from early 2026. The browsing tool hit a paywall on a legal database. Kimi K3 responded with a full paragraph about a regulation that does not exist. It was confident, well-structured, and included a citation to a source that I later confirmed was completely made up. I only caught it because I had read the actual document the day before. If you are a student, journalist, or researcher working with current events, this is not a minor issue. It is a credibility landmine. ChatGPT has rolling knowledge updates. Claude has rolling updates. Kimi K3 has a hard wall and no safety net. The model will lie to your face and sound authoritative doing it. Problem 2. Creative writing is broken in a way that benchmarks do not capture. I tested it with 3 standard prompts I use on every model. First, a short horror story. Kimi produced something that read like a Wikipedia summary of horror tropes. Atmosphere was 0, tension was 0. I felt nothing reading it. Second, poetry. I asked for a sonnet about loss. It rhymed heart with a part 3 times in 4 stanzas. The metaphors were generic. The rhythm was off. Third, my screenplay test. A tense diner scene between 2 estranged brothers where one is hiding a secret. The secret was revealed in the 3rd line of dialogue. There was no subtext, no silence between lines, no visual storytelling. It was functional prose with no soul. For comparison, Claude 4 wrote the same diner scene and I stopped reading to process the final line. ChatGPT wrote it and I at least paused. Kimi wrote it and I scrolled past without a second thought. The model is clearly optimized for STEM and business tasks. Creativity is not just an afterthought. It is a blind spot. If you are a novelist, screenwriter, poet, or marketer who needs emotional resonance, this model will waste your time. I tried tweaking the prompts, asking for more depth, more show don't tell. It improved slightly but still felt like it was following a template rather than creating art. Problem 3. The ecosystem does not exist. And I do not mean it is limited, I mean it is absent. No plugin store, no Zapier integration, no native Notion connection, no Google Drive sync, no calendar access, no email drafting beyond the chat window. I tried to build my actual daily workflow in Kimi K3, and it was like moving from a smartphone back to a flip phone. Here is my morning with ChatGPT. I paste a meeting transcript. 1 prompt later, it creates a summary in Notion, adds action items to Todoist, drafts a follow-up email in my voice, and suggests calendar blocks for the tasks. 5 minutes total. I never leave the chat. Here is my morning with Kimi K3. I paste the transcript. It writes a good summary. Then I copy that summary, switch to Notion, paste it, format it manually, switch to Todoist, write every task by hand, switch to Gmail, paste a draft, rewrite it to match my tone, then manually check my calendar. 17 minutes. Every single morning. I tracked it for 2 weeks. 12 extra minutes per day on average. 6 hours per month of pure context switching. The API is cheaper, but the workflow cost is real. It is not just annoying, it is expensive in time. Over a year, that is 72 hours of your life spent copying and pasting between apps. Problem 4. Voice mode is brilliant when it works, and frustrating when it does not. The first week was impressive. 20-minute conversation about quantum computing while I cooked dinner. Natural pauses, adaptive explanations, a laugh at a bad joke about Schrodinger's cat, and memory of context from 10 minutes earlier without me repeating myself. It felt like talking to a patient friend who actually listens. Then day 7 happened. The voice started cutting out mid-sentence. Not a network issue on my end. The app showed a full connection, but the audio just stopped. Day 12. I told it I understood a concept, and it repeated the same explanation 3 times in a row, ignoring my interjections completely. Day 15. The voice mode button loaded indefinitely for 6 hours with no error message and no status update. I checked their status page. Nothing. I checked Twitter. Dozens of users reporting the same issue. When it works, it is the best voice mode I have tested. When it fails, you are staring at a loading screen with no information and no fallback. Reliability matters more than peak performance for a tool you depend on daily. A brilliant voice mode that works 80% of the time is worse than a decent one that works 100%. Problem 5. The hype is hiding the real cost. $19 a month sounds fair. Same as ChatGPT Plus. Same as Claude Pro. But you are paying for a Formula 1 engine in a go-kart chassis. The deep reasoning mode is incredible for debugging complex code. The long context window is unmatched for legal and academic research. The speed is genuinely faster than anything else I have tested, but most users will never touch those features. If you are using AI for emails, meal planning, article summaries, and basic questions, Kimi K3 is overkill. You are paying for a sports car and driving it to the grocery store. The features that justify the price are niche. The features that general users need every day are weaker than the competition. ChatGPT has plugins that connect to your entire digital life. Claude has creative depth and safety guardrails that matter. Kimi has raw power and no roads to drive it on. You are buying potential, not convenience. So why am I still using it at all? Because for the specific things it does well, it does them better than anything else on the market. The code generation is top tier. The reasoning transparency changed how I debug. I can see the logic tree, delete branches I disagree with, and redirect the thinking in real time. That is not a gimmick. It is a genuine shift in how developers interact with AI. The long document accuracy saved me 4 hours on a single research project. The API pricing let me move a side project from GPT-5 and drop my monthly inference bill from $340 to $127. For those specific use cases, the value is undeniable. But I am not switching fully. I am using Kimi for coding and research, ChatGPT for daily workflow and integrations, and Claude for creative writing. 3 subscriptions, 3 tools, 1 fragmented workflow. That is the honest reality in 2026. There is no single AI that does everything well. Anyone telling you otherwise is selling something. Kimi K3 is not a ChatGPT killer. It is a specialist tool that got marketed as a generalist. If you know exactly what you need it for, if you are a developer or researcher who lives in complex documents and code, it is worth every dollar. If you are looking for one AI assistant to replace everything in your life, you will be disappointed. The engine is incredible. The car around it is still being built. Those are the 5 problems. If you found a 6th, drop it in the comments. If you want the full review where I cover what Kimi K3 actually does well, that video is linked below. Subscribe if you want more honest takes without the hype. That is the truth nobody is showing.